If 2020 hasn't been stressful enough, the holidays are just around the corner and ripe for hot tempers and losing one's cool. Joining us with how to stay zen this season is Dr. Lucinda DeMarco, Chief Medical Officer at UnitedHealthcare of South Carolina. Great to see you again. Hope you've been staying healthy.
I have, Leyla. Thank you, and good to see you as well.
Great. Well, before we get into holiday stress, which everybody seems to experience to one degree or another every year, I just want to kind of get out of the way the state of COVID and kind of what your thoughts are in terms of how things are looking, even though we're experiencing a spike, but we've got a couple of vaccinations on the horizon to be released. So maybe you can talk a little bit about what you think is going to happen.
Well, my hope is that the vaccines really are going to be the most helpful thing that we've seen all COVID season, if you will. I think it's very important that we continue to wear our masks, social distance, wash our hands, do all those things that we've continued to do. And then I think as the vaccines start to become approved by the FDA, which they will be, and probably the early part of next year, then I think we really need to consider getting them. And we're fortunate that these vaccines actually have a much higher incidence of preventing COVID than even like our flu vaccine that we're encouraging everybody to get this year, to take that out of the picture.
Right.
So I think it's a big stay tuned and let's see. But I'm really hopeful that as we move into 2021, that we're going to see some relief in this intense
don't we all?
pandemic. Yes.
Don't we all?
Yes.
Yeah. So COVID obviously going to have an impact on the holidays, and that's what we're going to be talking about here today. We're going to be talking about how stressful the holidays can be, and maybe how to get away from that. Not to overstress yourself, not to overburden yourself this holiday season. So, what are some of the key points that you want to tell patients out there to not fall into the traps of getting too stressed out?
I think it's very difficult, and right now with COVID, I think that adds an awful lot of stress to everything we're doing. So, the one thing that people need to realize is they need to recognize in themselves and in their families what the stressors are, what the triggers are, because stress can manifest in a lot of different ways. One of my coworkers and I were talking the other day where he was saying, my words, he's been very grumpy. Well, he's had some stressful things going on in his life, and he's been taking it out on everybody. So you need to recognize that stress isn't always that, oh, I feel stressed. It can raise your blood pressure, it can upset your stomach, it can give you headaches. And, a lot of times kids will even manifest with headaches and belly aches. So be cognizant of that.
Absolutely. Kids also observe. So if they see you stressed out, they're going to be stressed out.
Yes. And really, as we move through the holidays, watch what your kids are watching on TV. Watch what you're watching on TV. Because, no offense, because I know we're on TV, but, this is good stuff we're talking about, but sometimes TV really adds a tremendous amount of stress to what's going on in our lives.
Exactly.
And we need to sometimes just walk away from that and turn it off and not watch it.
Absolutely.
And find much more fun things to do with your family and yourself. Take time out for yourself. You're trying to be something to everyone. And if you forget yourself, then nobody is benefiting from what you're doing for them. So
that's why they always say when you're flying in an airplane, when the masks drop down, you put the mask on yourself first before you help the person next to you.
That's right.
I don't want to leave on that note, but we do need to take a break. So when we come back, we are going to fly high, and we're going to talk about just some of the ways in which we can de-stress. So let's talk about that after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. We've been chatting with Dr. Lucinda DeMarco on how to de-stress during the holidays. 2020 has been just a terrible year for a lot of people in many different ways. And the holiday season, a lot of people are looking to it as a sign of hope and renewal and some happiness, but things can also get quite stressful. So there are ways that you can de-stress, and certain habits that maybe you shouldn't take up that you might normally do, such as overeating, overdrinking, and overspending. But what are some of the things that you'd recommend, Doctor, on how to de-stress during this time?
I think one of the things that we really have to focus on is planning and staying in our regular routines. You know, the things that really make our lives healthier is eating well. You know, you can sneak off the wagon a little bit, but you really want to try to stay with healthy eating, fruits and veggies and those kinds of things. And, you know, we sometimes think that this time of year that fresh fruits and vegetables aren't as available. Realistically, it's just they change from what we have all summer long to the more cold weather vegetables and fruits. So, you know, we just need to shift and try things. Keep a regular bedtime. That is really important. You know, when I was a kid, my mom used to say, you need a good night's sleep. You really do need a good night's sleep because that gives your brain time to turn off and wind down and kind of get rid of some of the stress from the day. Yeah. And don't forget, do your exercise. You know, get out there and walk. If you're really, really busy and you normally spend 30 minutes a day or 45 minutes a day or more exercising, split that up. You know, it's just as healthy to do 3 10-minute bursts as it is to do a 30-minute continuous time.
Yeah, don't feel like you have to commit yourself to going to the gym or doing something specific every single day. Just walking outside and getting fresh air is incredibly beneficial. I know we've talked about that in the past.
Absolutely.
And then also for other people, maybe some yoga or meditation, just taking time for yourself.
Right.
Is important.
Right. And you know, there's a lot of apps out there for a lot of things. United has one that's called Sendvelo that is available to everyone. And you know, you can download it from the app stores. But the thing is that I've looked at it, I've used it, and it's really kind of nice because it lets you get into that zone of kind of meditation and relaxation. And, you know, before I started doing any of that kind of thing, I was really sort of like, it's stupid. But it really isn't. It really helps you to kind of get out of your mind, get out of your body and relax. And
it also kind of helps with accountability. We hear that word a lot, is being
Yes.
accountable for something. And when you know that either you got to log it or something, it gives you the motivation you need to keep going. Well, Dr. Lucinda, I want to thank you so much for joining us again. Great advice as always. And we hope that you have a fun, stress-less, and very safe holiday.
Thank you, Leyla. You too, as well. Take care.
We're back.
Bye-bye.
After this.